Hello, young farmers. Welcome to another episode of Seasons of Growth. So today we are joined by a very inspirational young lady by the name of Nomathemba. So Nomathemba runs a piggery farm and she specializes with pigs. So the name of her business is called Inyama Yethu and her farm is located in Brits in the Northwest. So today we're just going to be finding out a little bit more about the journey, how she got to piggery, because it is a very niche market, and what her aspirations and goals are. Hi, Nomathemba.
Hi, Tilly.
How are you, girl?
I'm good, and yourself?
Good, thank you. So please tell us a little bit more about who Nomathemba is. You just mentioned lab before we started shooting Guti, aka Ungungu, right? So tell us a little bit more about who you are, what you do, and how Inyama Yethu essentially started.
Okay, so Nomathemba Langa is firstly a wife.
Okay.
A mother of two.
Lovely.
A daughter and a granddaughter.
Nice.
So that's where it starts.
Yes.
And then coming to Inyama Yethu, how it has started, being the daughter of Usphiwe Zikalala.
Okay.
That's how it started.
Nice.
I was supposed to do my third year, which was a degree in business management.
Yes.
My father said, no ways, I'm not going to pay for this. We just bought a farm. So what you're going to do is you're going to keep your diploma and you're going to make use of your diploma.
Right.
So my father then bought the farm, which is a game farm that is 326 hectares in Brits. And because we knew nothing about farming, we bought goats, sheep, cattle, there was game, and pigs. But with the pigs, it was just having a lot of piglets. There's just a lot of piglets. I didn't understand what was happening here. And my father just said, let's call the South African Pork Producers Organization, which is SAPPO, to come and assist, because out of all the animals that are here, the animals that are giving us a lot of babies,
right,
it's the pigs. So then we didn't even know the terminology. So that's I'm just starting as using babies.
Basic, yeah.
Okay, so fast forward, we call SAPPO, and then in 2015, their transformation manager was Tshepo Phahla and Khadi. But then Tshepo Phahla was in charge of Northwest. So he came to the farm and then just said, at this point, you know nothing about pigs, so there's nothing that I can discuss with you.
Okay.
What I'll do is I'll book you in for training in Pietermaritzburg in Banesville for 2 weeks. So I went there in November. It was a 100 sow unit. So when I got back, I told my dad that we are selling all of these pigs.
Okay.
Sorry about that. We are selling all of these pigs and we are going to do the right thing.
Okay.
Because pigs have money.
Okay.
So now we're going to make money.
Yes.
And then we sold the pigs, then had your minimum biosecurity measures, which was the fence, the food bath, the shower in, the shower out. And now I was using piggery terminology. And Tshepo came back and said, okay, now that you understand, now let's engage. He bought in a vet, which was a private vet, but was sponsored by SAPPO.
Nice.
And then he gave me a health declaration form, which then opened doors for me to be able to slaughter at an abattoir. So with that in mind, I went to R&R Abattoir and I said, I would like to slaughter here. And they agreed because they saw that, so with the health declaration form, it basically tells you that everything on the farm, your breeds, your feed, it's on par.
It complies,
so you are able to feed, clients outside.
Right.
You're compliant. So then with that, I then went out to the local butcheries around the area to say, I've got pigs and I'm slaughtering at R&R. Can you buy them? And to my surprise, they said, okay, but take them. We want to see your gradings.
Okay.
I said, okay. So I took them to R&R, paid for the slaughter fee, got the gradings. So in terms of gradings of pig, it's graded via porkers. So the P and the O is what basically the market wants.
Okay.
And that's what we got. So that's first grade quality.
Oh, wow.
So they agreed, we got there, they said, we are happy with your pigs, continue to supply us now. So now I had a market, everything was just on par. Fast forward, because everything was going well, in 2019, I then applied for jobs funding. So when I applied for jobs funding, that's when I came across the word EIA, which is an environmental impact assessment.
Right.
I said, what is this? And they said, no, if you want to go commercial, you need to have an EIA, your water use rights, and then you need to have at least a minimum of, I think back then it was 200,000 yes annually.
Okay.
And we were already making that.
Okay.
So anyway, we did apply for jobs funding and we were shortlisted, but the EIA and the fact that when you're using a modernized piggery, there's less people.
Right.
And more technology because it's modernized.
Right.
So we're not creating jobs. So that's how we forfeited the jobs fund. And now I started looking for EIA and funding. That's when I discovered that back then, no government department was willing to pay for an EIA. It had to come out from your own pocket because the study can come and say you can't farm with pigs or you can farm with pigs on this farm.
Land, yeah.
So it's basically gambling with money. And you're looking at around 200 to 300,000
for that certificate.
Study. Yes.
Oh no.
So yes.
Girl.
So that's when I went to every government department. I was on radio, Power FM, asking for assistance, So yeah, compliant was just one barrier that was there. Fast forward, my mom realized that, oh, by the way, when we bought the farm in 2013, we did pay. So you do have an EIA.
Okay.
Imagine.
After going through so many.
After a full year of trying to look for funding.
Sure.
She then says, oh, we did a study. And with that, I then had to show that the study was still valid.
Right.
So the environment person, I don't know what they're called. So I'll say the
environmentalist, maybe?
Yes, environmentalist came to the farm and then said, yes, because you had started building already. So it's still valid.
Okay.
And she did give me a certificate that, no, the EIA is still valid, so you can continue. That's when I was able to apply now for CASP. And I did get the funding for a 20 sow unit. And that's what we currently have.
Nice.
So we are able to supply 10 growers, or put it like that, 10 porkers on a weekly basis. So that's what keeps us going, even though it's still small scale and we haven't moved up. Because now it's a matter of saying, even though my father has given us the 20 hectares each, now I need to subdivide and actually make it mine so I can have a title deed and say, I'm now putting up my 20 hectares as collateral when I'm looking for funding.
Right.
It's outside of the 300 hectares. This is who I am. And
here.
So that's where I find myself.
Wow, okay. Thank you for the very detailed background. Very interesting. Now, for us normal people who don't know the jargon, what is sow unit? Like, because I hear that a lot with livestock farmers, especially in piggery, as well as porkers. You mentioned 10 porkers. So in like simple terminology, what does that mean?
Okay, so the sow unit, it's basically, number one, the sow is your breeding stock. It's the female.
Okay.
It's the mother.
Okay.
In very simple term, it's the mother that is going to give you the litters. The litters are the piglets.
Right.
So she can give you 10, she can give you 15, depending on the breed and where you bought your sow.
Right.
But when you buy it, it's not a sow. It's called a gilt.
Okay.
Because it's still a virgin. It has not mated.
Okay.
So you buy gilts.
Okay.
Which are then converted into sows.
Okay.
Because once they litter, they're now a sow. It's like osmos.
Yes. Okay. And then when you say you operate a 20 sow unit, you mean 20 mothers, essentially.
Yes.
Okay. And constantly they're just giving babies.
Yes.
Okay. Very interesting. And then the mothers, can they give gilts? Well, yes, it's boys and girls that they give,
so
right?
they give you, in terms of what they give you, it's then how we say you've got, once you win them, or once they litter, you get piglets.
Yes.
From piglets, once you win the piglets, you get winners.
Okay.
And then from winners, you get growers.
Okay.
So you are selling growers. You are not selling gilts.
Okay.
You are selling growers.
Okay.
And if they are alive, they are called growers.
Okay.
And once you slaughter, based on your market, you can call them porkers, which is around 55 kilograms.
Okay.
That's for your chisanyama, those
establishments.
frying.
Yeah.
Yes. And then you go to your baconers that are weighing a carcass weight of 70 to 90. So those are the ones that the big wholesalers are looking for.
Okay.
Your Linka, those ones, those are the ones that they need. So there's a terminology based on the market that you want to supply.
Right.
So it's very crucial to understand why you are growing the pigs so that you get to understand your market.
Right.
And with us as small scale farmers, where you tend to make a bit of profit, where it's like R1, R2, it is because you are serving a niche market. So it's either you come back with your carcasses, you process them into different meat cuts, your chops, and then you sell them like that. So that's where you can get your 10 rand. Because now, instead of people going to Roots and buying it at 90 rands per kilogram, you say buy at 70 rands per kilogram.
Right.
So you are no longer getting your pig for 30 rands, which is what the market is selling.
Right.
You are now getting at 70 rands. And that's what makes a huge difference.
Right.
And that is how we then ventured into the butchery part of it, where we noticed that, okay, if we start processing, this is where we would at least make something out of it so that it's a continuous process. But if you were to ask me that, does a 20 sow unit make profit? My answer would be no. Why am I still in it? It is because I've noticed that if I bench out, there's training, there's butchery, then those other business, or what do you call it?
Yeah, like, sectors or elements,
they then bring in the money that I need to sustain the business.
Right.
Hence, it's still in existence 10 years later.
Nice. So essentially what you've seen work for you was using the pigs, but seeing how many other value chains you can make through that. And that's what's really been working.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. So amakroas, are those like baby pigs? I mean, I know piglets are the babies, right?
So they'll be weighing around 120 kilograms.
Okay.
So if you're going for porkers, you'll have them at 70 kilograms.
And that's the bacon.
4 months.
Okay.
No, that's the porkers.
Okay.
So it takes 4 months to grow them into that.
Okay.
You're looking at your baconers, that's 5 months.
Okay, I see.
Yes. So they're not babies. 4 to 5 months, it's a lot.
So if you say that's a lot, how old would a sow be?
You keep it for 2 years.
Okay.
Yes.
And then after 2 years, you have to take it to the abattoir.
Yes.
Oh, shame.
And then the ones that we take to the abattoir, you can get it at 30 rands right now per kilogram.
Okay.
So that's what makes your salamis, your cheese grillers.
Interesting. Very interesting.
So it's that old fat that we use to make your polonies.
Yes.
every by processed product.
Very interesting. And then as, obviously as someone that specializes in piggery, do you ever find yourself getting attached to some of the pigs and maybe not wanting to let them go, or you are just in it, like you are focused, ukuthi asidlala?
No, you do find yourself attached.
Oh.
Yes, especially the male. I called it Temba. And when it was time for Temba to go, bekunzima, and then when I brought in the other one, then I called it Tepo. Then my mentor said, no ways.
Yeah, no, we're not doing that.
No. Remember, in my language, I gave it my name, which is Temba. So now it's still continuing as
It's
Temba,
still, but in another.
You see, it's Tepo. Just because of record purposes, I can't say Temba 1,
Temba 2.
So there was Temba this year. Next year there's Tepo,
Then
the other
Hope.
year there will Matepo.
Yeah. I see.
So the Temba name continues, but...
Oh, well, R.I.P. to Temba. But yeah, so in terms of running a farm, right? How would you say, firstly, support, right? Are you running it alone? You mentioned for your dad and 4, cutting it in 4. So I just want to know, are you alone in this? You did mention you have a husband and you have children. Are they part of it? Or when it comes to Inyama Yethu, it's solely Nomathemba?
My kids do come to the farm, but they're very afraid of pigs.
Okay,
yes,
for now.
So, and especially when you feed them, because they all make this sound that is just
scary.
So then they just go out and say, "No, mommy, no." My father is there, so my family is there.
Okay,
supporting me emotionally, financially. Yeah, they're there.
Nice.
Because last time I left and I came back and I found this other guy on the tractor already cutting the grass.
Oh, wow.
My mom said, yeah, I paid for the petrol.
Okay,
Come
girl.
back later. And I said, oh, okay. So it's always clean, because what we always do as well is that we dedicate 2 hours on a daily basis and we rotate. So on Monday, we'll be going to the vegetable side. On Tuesday, the chickens. On Wednesday, the whole farm. Thursday, the pigs. Just like that, so that it's always clean.
Right.
So every employee dedicates 2 hours of cleaning on a daily basis.
That's nice.
Yeah, for 5 days.
Yes. Oh, that's lovely. And in terms of running a business and obviously balancing being a mom, running a home, it's obviously not easy. Life is not easy, How do you find yourself managing your mental health? What would you say are things that give you strength, that keep you going, and things that you always kind of find yourself gravitating back to so that you ground yourself?
So I got myself a second mentor.
Okay.
And with that, we then dedicated a daily routine. So we do give ourselves a break, including my mentor. Nice. We'll tell you on Thursdays, my cell phone is off.
Okay.
You don't call. I don't take messages. I don't do anything.
I'm actually rebooting.
That day is just dedicated to him and him alone.
Nice.
So I also have a day that is just dedicated to me and me alone. And it's during the week because those little 2 need to be far away from me. Right. So they're at school.
Yeah.
So that gives me time to just, rewind and think and re-strategize. And accept that I'm a woman, and I always emphasize to my husband, I'm a woman, and I know my role, I know my duties, and there's certain, I put boundaries, and I say, but I will not do this. They were telling me about this AI training, artificial insemination for pigs, and I said, no, I won't do AI training. The guys from PIC, which is the Pig Improvement Company, they will come and do it for me. I've reached my limit. I do process, like even in the butchery as well. I will not be a blocksman. No. I must remember that I'm still a woman. Blocksman is for men. That's why it's called a blocksman. Men for men. Artificial insemination, men must do it. I won't do it. So I think that's how I'm surviving.
Just knowing what's good for you and what you can, like your capacity.
Yes.
You know, because I mean, burnout is also like very dangerous, you know.
We gave birth to children. Our bodies transform and change, and we need to acknowledge that. Men don't give birth to anything, so their bodies don't transform or change in any way.
Right.
It remains consistent. So let those consistent people constantly do what they were meant to do. Because I believe that if God created men like that, there was a reason. And I don't want to overstep that.
Right.
And that's my own opinion. Please don't bite me.
Yeah. No, I hear that. I hear that. So family is obviously a big grounding force in your life, but also just staying in your lane, girl. Like knowing what I can and monga kuna go.
Yo, kukisimende. Yo, man, no. Oistina.
Yeah.
I'm not a man.
No, I know. I get that. And then in terms of challenges, right? What would you say being an entrepreneur, especially in the agribusiness and going through like, you know, starting from nothing, like you said, all the piglets that you guys had, you decided, you know what, I'm selling these so that I can do it the right way, to who you are now and where you are now. What challenges would you say stand out the most and how did you tackle those?
Number one was compliance. That one stands out.
Yeah, and currently still is a bit off.
Yes, because now you need to subdivide. So it's always, compliance becomes an issue, but it's how you find ways to maneuver around the challenge to say, while it's still a stumbling block and I've not achieved that target in terms of monetary value, what else can I do to sustain myself? So that's how you overcome that challenge. But it's not that it's not there. It's still there. And secondly, it was being in a male-dominated industry. I think piggery was, no. When I started now selling, you know, and going to these butcheries and engaging in meetings, even in some of these government departments, you know, they see you, and with my voice and with my body, it just makes me look like I'm this tiny, and people want to take advantage of that, especially men, you know. I'll never forget the day where I left a meeting and this man opened the door. And me remembering that I'm a woman, I actually left first and I just got a spank. And I never looked back. I walked out, walked straight to the car, got to the car and I cried. Because I didn't even know how to react and respond to such.
And are you there wanting to grow yourself as an entrepreneur? You obviously need advice or assistance from them. But
so the meeting was just invalid because this person was not even there. He just saw what he wanted to see and decided, oh, let me take it.
Sure.
You know, so it's been really rough. Even some departments, there's some government departments that I don't go to because of what I experienced when I got there. And this man was saying, oh, you need assistance here. I'm going to come over the weekend and we have lunch. No, I'm not having lunch with you. And he says, oh, by the way, then you're not going to get assistance. Oh,
okay.
Not going to sell myself.
That's the thing. Sure.
I'm really not going to sell myself.
That's hectic. So you definitely, compliance, you said, stands out, as well as being in a male-dominated industry and obviously being like a pretty young lady that just wants to win in this life. Yeah. Sure. Sorry you had to go through that. And then in terms of platforms such as Young Farmer, right? We obviously strive in putting you guys out there. Have you gotten any like opportunities? Have you learned anything? Have you, has it been useful for you to be part of such a platform? And is it something that you see yourself, being a part of for the long run? And if there is a young farmer watching this today, would you recommend that, they are part of the community?
Yes, I would, most definitely. And there are different types of reasons, but I'll just name a few. Firstly, it's because our voices are being heard. That is very important. Secondly, we are also advertising ourselves. So you're saying
yes, girl. Inyama Yethu.
So that's another marketing tool, which works wonders for any farmer.
Right.
And thirdly, just watching your podcasts, it gives me as a farmer also information on what is happening in the industry, who is who,
right.
How can we engage, how can I network, how can I get assistance, so it really does assist. And even the video that we got to do with the voiceover.
Yes.
I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
And I see a long-term working relationship with young farmer.
Lovely. No, we are very happy to hear that, firstly, and we always want to help, wherever we can. If we have the resources, that's exactly why we're here. And then in terms of, this is like our favorite question to ask. Questions. It's a series of questions. In terms of, you mentioned 20 sow units. Now I'm obviously an informed girly,
yes.
Right? How do your monthly expenses look like? Like on a month-to-month? Because, obviously you're constantly producing, right? It's not like crops where there's peak seasons or whatever. How does that work?
It works exactly the same.
Okay.
Like now, the big commercial farmers had an outbreak of African swine fever.
Okay.
So now there's less supply in the market.
Okay.
So now the prices have gone very
Which
nice.
is great for you guys.
It's great for us because now you're getting it at 40 rands compared to the 30 rands that it comes from. You see?
Right.
So in terms of, I think, any industry, it works like that. Being aware, there are factors. You can't have a constant expenses.
Right.
You can't have a constant income ranging at the same price. It changes.
Fluctuates. So month to month with like everything that you have to pay, how much are we looking at? Straight.
No way. No way.
Okay, if you know.
Ufuna this lady who was saying, why must I tell you, Uti, isaw unit yami ngakanani? You want to start calculating how much I make? No, nginengulube. And it ends there.
And that's the next question. If I want to share my expense, share like guti wenza mali.
No.
20 saw.
No. I'll just give you an example. Worst case scenario, you would say
Worst case
scenario, you would say 55 rands or 55 kilograms.
Okay.
Multiply that by 29 rands.
Okay.
Multiply that by 10 because mine are 10.
Yes. So 55 times 30 times
29. It's a 29. Fucking worst case scenario.
If I was good at maths, I would have corrected. But you know what?
So at least it's ranging there.
Right. Okay.
But I'll give you another example. So if you were to go commercial, like I've got an off-take to supply 150 carcasses on a weekly basis. Imagine 150 carcasses, multiply that by your worst case scenario, which is your 29. They're looking for baconers, you'll be like at 80.
Sure.
kilograms.
Those are
So
lovely numbers.
yes. So commercially, you do range from 1 million to 1.5 on a monthly basis.
Nice. That's lovely and very inspirational, because also I think when people think about pigs, they think about, oh my God, it's scary. Oh my God, pigs are dirty or this or that or that. But we eat pork every day,
And they're not dirty.
Aren't they?
No, they're very clean. It
Really?
depends. Yes, like I said, the reason why you need the vet to come and check your premises is because of that. They need to know what you're feeding your pigs.
Okay.
So pigs are very picky eaters. So if your pigs eat alzu feed, you've started them with alzu feed.
And
Should you go broke or anything happen and you say to your friend, and you want to bring them in, they will not eat.
sure.
We once had that debate with my mom. I said, they're not going to eat. She had a lot of cucumbers. And she said, no, but they're fresh. And I said, okay, you know what, go. She went there and those pigs just looked at the cucumbers. They didn't eat them.
Sure.
No. So pigs are, and they're very clean. You can come to our piggery. It doesn't smell.
Wow.
Yes. I've had a lot of people asking me, what do you do? I said, what do you mean? What do I do? I clean. So when you clean, they are clean themselves.
They adapt to...
They're clean themselves. So you can walk in at any time. You won't find them dirty. Find them very clean.
That's
it's
nice.
the people that are dirty.
Right.
If you can't take care of the pigs, you blame it on the pigs, but it's you.
Sure. Very interesting. And then if we want to support Inyama Yethu, we want to buy, someone's watching and is like, oh my God, I need pork for my bride this weekend. How do we get a hold of you?
So we've got our website. We just need to finish the... what do I call it?
Like the design?
No. The design is finished, but in terms of pay fast...
the
application
e-commerce
process.
Yes.
So we're busy with pay fast in terms of the application process. But the website itself, you can go in there, you can check. So it's www.inyamayetu.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then is that the only platform?
No, you can find us on WhatsApp at 072-789-1785. You can go to Instagram at Dwanawami or Inyama Yethu. Facebook, Inyama Yethu is there. And Twitter as well. Yeah, forgotten about X.
Lovely. And then in closing, for farmer that's watching this and wants to venture into, agriculture, specifically livestock, since that's your forte, what would some words of encouragement be for them to start and not really give up on the dream?
For the fact that we're still buying meat from other countries, that shows that there's a market. People want to eat meat.
Sure.
So as long as you're able to just understand the industry that you're in and try to overcome the challenges that you're going to face. But in any industry, in every company, there's always challenges. It's just how you position yourself as a person to say, this is what I want and this is what I'm going to achieve, no matter what the circumstances are. So they're welcomed. The industry's big. There's no competition.
Sure.
Yeah.
There's the pie is big enough for everybody.
There's no competition. This thing that we learned at school saying competition is non-existent, because if competition existed, then we would not be buying from outside.
Right.
But for the fact that we're buying from outside, it shows that there's a huge gap that we cannot even fulfill.
Sure.
So why even lie to people and talk about competition, bring up a word that is non-existent?
Sure. Wow, well, there you have it, young farmers. That was Nomathemba, the founder of Inyama Yethu, a very inspirational young lady who is multifaceted, runs a whole household, runs a whole business, and is looking to expand into greater heights. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
We look forward to seeing you grow and buying Inyama Yethu.
Yes.